Picking courses is an important part of a student's high school experience. A rigorous course schedule should be the goal of all students, though it's imperative that the workload that comes along with a rigorous schedule is manageable. The courses that are selected this spring will be the courses that appear in a student's schedule next fall. Adjusting courses after this spring and after the course registration process is over is not easy and is not guaranteed. Once all students select courses, school counselors will meet individually with each student to review their selections and finalize their course requests. After this, requests for schedule changes will be made on a case-by-case basis only. In order to begin scheduling, please log into your parent portal account. From there, please click on Class Registration. Class registration will bring you to a screen that looks like mine. For 11th grade, let's start with English. There are 3 options for 11th grade English: English 3, Honors English 3, and AP English, Language, and Composition, which is typically referred to as AP Lang. AP Lang is obviously the hardest of the 3 choices. This course is very heavy in grammar, writing styles, syntax. It's a course that focuses a lot on the structure of writing and the structure of the English language, less on annotating books and reading novels, much more on more the nitty-gritty and the structure of the English language. So if you really enjoy English and you enjoy writing and you like learning about writing styles and grammar, then we'd recommend this course. Again, it's an AP level course, so it's challenging. There's lots of work outside of school. The expectations are definitely higher, but it's a great course that can benefit a lot of different kids in a lot of different subject areas and with a lot of different interests. So we definitely recommend it if you're willing to do the work and willing to put the time in, because it is a challenging course. It is not the equivalent to Honors English 3. It is a step up and it is harder. English 3 and Honors English 3 are much more in line with what we've done in 9th and 10th grade. So an honors class has a little more outside of class, more reading, so they come to class for class discussions, but much more similar to Honors English 1, Honors English 2, and then this would be the Honors English 3 progression. The college class, this is not a class that meets the English 3 requirement for 11th graders. This actually is for seniors who want to not take English 4. So right now as a junior, if you can kind of project ahead to your senior year and you say, I really don't want to be in English 4, I don't want to take AP Literature, I'm ready to take college courses, I want to be out of Kent Island High School and on a college campus at Chesapeake College or Anne Arundel, then you would pick this course. The way it would work is you would still take one of the other 3 English 3 options, so English 3, Honors English 3, or AP Lang, but then you would take this college course in the 2nd semester of your junior year to begin getting the credit that you need to skip English 4 as a senior. So to skip English 4, you must take a college course in the English field your junior year, and then you take another dual enrollment college course in the fall of your senior year. At Chesapeake, this would be English 101 and English 102. At Anne Arundel, this would be English 111 and English 112. But picking this course does not satisfy your junior year English. This works towards something for senior year. So please make sure that you pick one thing on this screen, but if you pick this one, the college course, then you have to pick one of the 11th grade courses as well. Before we go much further, it's important to note that as a junior, dual enrollment is now an option for students. So dual enrollment is through Chesapeake College or Anne Arundel College, and it is an option for 11th grade students. So they can take their elective courses. They still have to satisfy our core academic requirements here, but they can take some of their elective courses if they want to at the community college. If the plan is to go there after high school anyways, it's a great option. Or if you plan on staying in state and going to one of our state schools, dual enrollment's a good option. So we'll talk a little more about it later, but it really is a good program that starts for 11th graders. Social studies, the last social studies is world history. At this point, U.S. history, or American history and government are done, so now we're into world history, and this is the last required social studies in high school. So seniors do not have to take a social studies unless they want to. We have some electives, but no required classes. So world history, honors world history, and AP World. If you select AP World, you must take both parts. So you have to take part 1 and part 2, 2 separate classes, 2 90-minute classes, 1 first semester, 1 second, 2 separate grades, typically with the same teacher, but 2 separate grades, 2 separate spots in your schedule. You have to take both to satisfy the world history requirement. Math's a little tricky because everybody's in kind of their own place with their math track and their math program. So make sure you pick the appropriate class for you. What's right for you is not necessarily what's right for somebody else. So if as a 10th grader you took geometry, then in 11th grade you would take algebra 2. If you took algebra 2, your next class is trig or trigonometry. If you've completed trig, you take pre-calculus. After that, you go into calculus. So that's kind of the standard math track. If you've accelerated your math throughout high school and you've done honors geometry, honors algebra 2, then you're looking at honors pre-calc, you're looking at calculus, you're looking at the AP Calc Part 1, Part 2. You have to take both parts of that class within the same school year. So Part 1 first semester, Part 2 second semester. You can take AP Calculus without calculus, though you should have done very well and been a very strong honors pre-calculus student. A high A really is what you should have had in honors pre-calc if you're going to skip calculus. So AP Calculus, which then takes you into BC Calculus, typically as a senior. If you've completed Algebra 2 or Honors Algebra 2 and you really are kind of done with the calculus-based math track, then another option is to take Probability and Statistics. It's a totally different type of math. You can take it as a junior, but that means that as a senior, you're going to take AP Statistics. So make sure that if you pick Probability and Statistics as a junior, you're prepared for your next step is AP Statistics as a senior. There's a few other options possibly, but typically that's what you're looking at for your senior year math if you leave the calculus-based math track now and go into the Probability and Statistics. Keep in mind for four-year colleges, they want to see you definitely through Algebra 2, so you need to be through Algebra 2. The more math you have, the higher level math, typically the better. STEM and that science, technology, engineering, and math push is still very big right now, so colleges like to see students that are pushing themselves in that area. Obviously, if you are more of a social sciences and English and literature type person, that's fine, but make sure that you still have that rigorous math in your schedule. Everybody must take math all 4 years of high school. It's not an option to not have math in your schedule. The state of Maryland requires that you have math every year of high school. Science, juniors have options for science. They finished biology, they finished chemistry, so now they're kind of into a field that really starts to expand. It is our recommendation that juniors take physics, honors physics, regular physics, AP physics. That is our recommendation, though it is not required. They are not required to take physics as a junior, but we do recommend it. So if you are kind of a four-year college-bound kid, doing well in your math classes, we would recommend physics, honors physics, and AP physics. Honors physics, you should either have taken trig or be in trig concurrently. You need some trig in order to do well in honors physics, so make sure that you have that basis covered if you're going to do honors physics. Your math should be trig or higher. If you really are adamant that you do not take a physics class, then there are other options. So we have the APs, we have AP Environmental Science, AP Bio, AP Chem. We have options there, but make sure you need to take a science as a junior, so make sure you pick what you want to take. World languages. Spanish and French are the two that we offer. It's recommended that students that are going to four-year colleges have at least 2 levels. Most colleges, that is one of their requirements that they're looking for on their transcript. So 2 levels of a foreign language, Spanish 1 and Spanish 2, or French 1 and French 2. But colleges would like to see more. So they would like to see that 3rd level, and if you're doing well, they'd like to see you keep going. Having AP French, having AP Spanish on your transcript for college applications really makes you stand out. Very few students are able to get that far. If you're doing well, we definitely encourage you to push yourself and keep going with those foreign language classes. Remember, this is another area that you can double up. Math is the other area, so you could take 2 math courses within a school year. You can take 2 foreign languages within a school year. So if you wanted to do Spanish 3 and Spanish 4 with the plan to take AP Spanish as a senior, that's fine. You would select both of those classes in here, okay? Health and PE, if you haven't completed your health and PE, please make sure you pick it. Remember, you take them together. Health and PE are paired. You take each for 45 days. So make sure that you pick health and PE. If you haven't gotten it done, let's get it done as a junior. Band and chorus, so this is where our year-long courses sit. So if you're a band or a chorus student, then you need to pick a class to match up with it. So the options are similar to what we're offering now, but please make sure that you look and see what we have in there for the year-long classes and the AP classes. If you're not a band or chorus student but want to take classes year-long, some students really like that 45-minute format third period. If you do, then go ahead and pick 2 classes in here. Just make sure in this screen, if you pick one, you got to pick 2. CTE courses at Queen Anne's. So juniors are now able to go over to Queen Anne's for their CTE classes and their programs. They're listed here. So if you are interested in any of these programs, you'll pick it as part of your schedule, and then you will need to pick up an application for the CTE programs in the school counseling office. So there is an application. Picking it within this screen in your schedule does not automatically get you in those classes. You do have to complete the application, and you can pick that up in the school counseling office. So make sure that you stop in and get that if you're interested in any of these programs. Logistically, we really cover all of that, so transportation and lunch and all of that kind of stuff. We handle it here at the school, and in terms of getting you to and from both buildings, but make sure that if you pick one of these programs, you pick up an application from us. Dual enrollment, we touched on this a little bit already. So as a junior, dual enrollment is now open to you. You can read the note that's up here at the top of the screen that explains it a little bit further. But dual enrollment is a great program and a great opportunity for those students that know they're going into community college after high school, or know they're transferring right to a state school out of high school. That is really a great setup to take dual enrollment, to get some of those prereq and kind of gen ed classes out of the way. You can take dual enrollment through both Chesapeake and Anne Arundel. We have agreements with both. There are discounts, so Queen Anne's County pays part of the cost of the courses for dual enrollment, but there is a cost associated with it still. So you're getting college credit, taking college classes, meeting the expectations of the community college, so there are some fees associated to it. But it is a great opportunity. If you're a student or you receive free or reduced meals, you do not pay for your dual enrollment classes. The first 4 are covered by us, so keep that in mind. But there are requirements for the program, so make sure that you read through the note up here so that you're sure of what you're getting into. Semester electives. So this screen is large and has a lot on it. I would caution students and parents not to just start clicking through these 10 pages because it can become cumbersome and overwhelming because there's a lot here. What I recommend is that you go to the county website, so the QACPS.org, and start here. So this website, our county website, has our program of study on it. So under the Parents tab, you'll see Program of Study. So this is where our book that houses really all the policies and the programs and course offerings at both high schools, Queen Anne's and Kent Island, is housed. In this book, you will find all of our pathways and all of our courses. So I recommend you start here and begin looking at what program and pathway you're interested in, and then finding it on the scheduling screen. So page 26 of next year's program of study has all the pathways, so I recommend starting there and then coming to find the courses within this screen. So for example, if you looked in the program of study and knew you wanted to do the teaching pathway, the Teacher Academy of Maryland, maybe you've already started it. Let's say in 9th or in 10th grade you took Human Growth and Development. In the program of study on page 26, you would see that your next class is Teaching as a Profession. So you would come in here and find the next class, Teaching as a Profession, put that in your schedule. If you wanted to double up and try and take Teaching as a Profession and Foundations of Curriculum and Instruction, which is the 3rd class in the pathway within the same school year, you could do that. So you would come in and find Foundations of Curriculum and Instruction and be able to put both of those pathway classes in your schedule. But please, please, please make sure that you start with the program of study and then can find the classes. Just clicking through here can get you caught in a bind really quickly because you might not be able to take one of the classes that you're interested in. An example of that is team sports. You must have finished health and PE before you can take team sports or weight training. So don't come in and start clicking without checking what are the prerequisites, what do I have to take in order to take the next class. The art program has changed. All of that is in the program of study. So our classes are now named different things, please see Miss Sage, Miss Moyer, Miss Schulte with questions about that. But again, start with the program of study and then come in here and pick your courses. But this is where you will find all of our electives, art classes, PE, drama, our Buck Report class, TV, studio productions. All of those classes are in here. Creative writing, journalism. You'll find any of those here, and you will find all of our pathway classes. So start in the program of study and then come here and find what you'd like. Once you've picked your classes, you'll click OK. Now we're at the bottom. So we can see at the bottom that I'm required to pick 8 classes or 8 credit hours, but I've only picked 7. So I'm 1 class short. So I need to come back up, review my selections, and decide what I want to add. Maybe I want to add add an art class. I picked 2 pathway classes. I didn't really pick an elective, and I really enjoy art, so I would come back in here and add an art class. Maybe I come back up here and I say, I really could double up on Spanish. I could do 3 and 4 in my junior year and take AP as a senior. So that would probably be my change. So I would come in and take Spanish 3 and Spanish 4 to give me a little more rigor in my schedule. So I have the English, the social studies, my math, my science, and my Spanish. So I've got a good kind of group of academic classes up here at the top, and then down at the bottom are my electives and pathway classes. Another adjustment I could have made is maybe not done Spanish 4 and doubled up on math if I'm a strong math student, but lots of options. So now at the bottom you can see that I'm required to have 8 classes and I've picked 8 classes. The last thing I need to do is pick my alternates. So this screen is similar to the elective screen, and there is a lot on here. Please, again, make sure you start with the program of study and then come in here and pick your alternates. Make sure your alternates are classes that you actually want to take. Please make sure they're classes you actually want to take. We will put your alternates into your schedule as we're adjusting schedules and making them work. So if you pick a class as an alternate that you don't want and we put it in your schedule, there's an issue because we have now honored your requests and we're changing our minds and trying to make adjustments after the course request period is over. So please make sure your alternates are classes that you want to take and you can take. So maybe you're interested in learning how to play the piano and you looked in the program of study and saw mythology and folklore, and that looks like a really interesting English elective to you, so you'd put both of those classes in. That means if I couldn't get one of your other requests in, I would go to your alternates and I would look to put either one of these in. So please make sure they're classes you want to take. Once you're done and you're happy with your requests and they're correct and you've double checked them, right down here in the bottom you'll see the OK or the submit button, and you'll go ahead and hit that. That will finalize and submit your course request for the coming school year. You can make adjustments as long as the course request screens are open. So for as long as you can click class registration in your parent portal, which will be about a week and a half, you can come back in and redo your course request and resave it. So the most recent course request you put in will be your final course request. So you have some time to come back in and adjust. Maybe you sleep on it and realize you want to change something. That's fine. Come back in and make that adjustment. Again, like I started with, it is imperative that these are the courses you want to take next year. Changing your course after this point is much harder. It is not guaranteed. School counselors are not available all of the time to make course changes. So please make sure that these are the courses you want to take your junior year. We will meet with every student individually to review their requests to make sure they're correct, to make sure they're what they want. So if you have questions and you want to talk to your school counselor about what you're picking, please go ahead and do the best you can picking these courses, and then we'll meet with you one-on-one, make changes, make adjustments, and answer any of the questions you have. But please save your questions for our individual meetings. That gives us time to meet with everybody and give everybody a fair opportunity to have time with their school counselor to ask questions. So please jot down your questions and ask them when we meet, but do your best and get these courses into the system, and then we can adjust from there. Do not leave this blank. Please make sure you put your course requests in. Again, we look forward to working with you, and we know that you're going to do a great job picking courses for next school year.